alert! Red alert! Wait, oh, God, I gotta remember when we do red alert. Hold on. Red alert! Red alert! The NBA is back again, but this time the Knicks. I repeat, the Knicks are back, and there will be Knicks basketball. I am so excited. For those who may or may not have seen, the NBA, the league is close to closing in a deal where there will be a second bubble for the bottom 8. They don't know what they're calling it right now. It's just called Bubble 2. But the second bubble will be in Chicago. Yes, that's right. The same place where the NBA All-Star Weekend was held. But all I saw was there will be Knicks basketball again. Here's why this got me excited. I understand it's the losing teams, but I will explain why this got me excited outside the fact that I get to watch the Knicks again. What's going on, CK Crew? Your boy CK2K here, and welcome back to another video. That's right, people. This is not a drill. Jackie McMullen has officially said that the NBA, the league, is close to closing a deal where there will be a second bubble outside of the Orlando bubble. For those who have been under a rock, who are you people? The NBA is looking to continue here at the end of the month in Orlando, where all the teams will be playing in Orlando, Florida. Well, not all the teams. The playoff teams will be playing in Orlando, Florida, starting with the 8-game play-in tournament, you know, round robin, blah, 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 blah kind of situation. Then the playoffs starting right after that. But now there is a deal in place for the 8 teams that were not invited to play amongst each other in what is looking like some sort of like summer league-esque thing where, you know, the bottom teams are playing in a tournament against each other. Obviously, it's strictly just so all these teams that did not get to the playoffs are just not playing basketball again until December. I mean, it makes sense. To go from the middle of March all the way to December without playing an official game is a long break. So here's the thing. Obviously, as a Knicks fan, this is exciting because I thought I was going to see no Knicks basketball until next season, and that's not the case. But it's also funny too, and I feel like as excited I am as about all this with the Knicks, I do have to mention, when they had this conference call for this bottom eight bubble, as excited as I am about my team going in there, the only team that voted against having this bubble was my Knicks. So I'm excited to see them play, but they're not excited to go out there and play. And I kind of get it. I mean, with the reports, it's saying that, you know, the New York Knicks are already head deep into already figuring out what's going on with the coaching situation, as well as, you know, the scouting situation for the draft, that they're not concerned about preparing for basketball and playing basketball. And because now this also fast forwards the process for the Knicks, because maybe they wanted to take their time and make the decision on the coaching situation after seeing some of these games in the bubble. Now this, like I said, because it makes the most sense for them to have a coach going into the Chicago bubble. Now this fast forwards that process because they know that they're most likely going to need to make a hire before this bubble begins. So it's funny, as excited as I am, they're the only team that voted against this new bubble, but too bad because it's going through. I mean, especially with guys like, you know, Will Hardy and Jason Kidd, you know, Jamal, that, you know, all these guys are still going to be coaching their respected teams that are in the playoffs, and by September the playoffs will actually be revving up. So what if the Knicks do want to go with Jamal in a situation like this, or they want to go with Jason Kidd? They're not going to get their coach right away because they're still playing in the playoffs. I mean, we've seen this situation many times when, you know, teams make the decision to hire an assistant coach in the midst of the playoffs, but they don't have to worry about it because while the playoffs are going on, they're out fishing somewhere because they're not playing any games at that time when they make this hire. This is a completely different situation. They will be playing games while the coach that they might hire is playing in the playoffs. So there's just so many tangibles that come along with this, and you know, so many questions that are going to come around. But the black and white of it is I'm excited that there's going to be a chance for me to watch Knicks basketball again in the near future. Outside of me being able to see the Knicks, there's a lot of importance that comes to this, whether it is the Knicks or whether it's the Bulls, wherever it may be, whether you are a fan of any of the bottom teams, if you're a Hawks fan, if you're a Bulls fan. This is why this is important. Like I just said, you know, obviously guys get to play and whatnot, but this is important for a lot of other reasons. Now, we've seen that there's teams outside of the fact that, you know, what's going on outside with the coronavirus or what's going on with the protests. There are players that are not making it to playing these games for those kind of reasons, and I expect that with this second bubble that there's probably going to be veteran players that are going to be like, I don't really have a want or need to play in this second bubble because I'm on my contract year, so what's the point of me playing? And for Knicks fans, that's exciting because that means there's a possibility that some of these vets that know that they're on a one-year deal are not going to be coming back, and this just allows the team to go out there and play with the younger guys, to go play amongst other, pretty much their peers, other rebuilding teams. I understand if you are a Laker, Bucks, Clipper, whatever maybe fan, you're hearing this and you're like, yo,
this is the stupidest conversation I've ever had.
But you have to understand it from a rebuilding perspective. This is a big deal in that sense. The other thing, and I know we're not the only team right now, we're one of the only teams that are looking for a coaching job, but we know the Bulls, there's rumors that Jim Boylan is on his way out, so they might be looking for a new coach before that bubble comes up. And since it's rumored that the bubble will be coming back will be coming up in September, while this bubble is coming up right now in July, that means that with all of the interviews and everything that Knicks have been doing, they possibly could be ushering in their new coach, and this would be the perfect way to get a speed course going into next season. Think about it, you know, normally it would be playoff basketball, and then the new coach comes in the off season, then he doesn't really get to do anything with the team until training camp, and then they have their summer league where he gets to see, you know, the younger players, and then there's the preseason where he gets to play and run with them for 4 games. With this mini tournament, if we're able to make a decision before the tournament, this new bubble in September, there's no preseason, there's obviously no summer league, so this right here is the opportunity to get games in with your younger guys. Then you have the draft, and then you have more time to go in and do that in December. So it's a win-win situation in my opinion. So then the question comes up, do the Knicks make a coaching decision before this second bubble comes up? I think the obvious answer is yes. I mean, if you're deciding to keep Mike Miller on board and he's going to be an assistant coach, or maybe he's going to continue as the head coach, then sure, let him go in and coach this bubble. But I mean, if you have until September, I say you make the decision leading up until whenever this second bubble comes about, have that new coach. And like I said, I would be very surprised if some of these one-year deals, unless they just absolutely really want to play basketball, which they probably will, I do believe that some of these guys are, you know, like a Davis Bertans, like he knew that his Wizards were not really going to stand a chance to go in this playoff bubble and go and compete in the playoffs. So he chose to just sit back. Had nothing to do with coronavirus, had nothing to do with the protests. He said, yo, I'm looking at getting a paycheck this off season. My knees are still recovering. Let me lay out of playing games. And I expect to see that from other players, especially on the lower end. But also my next question is, what does this mean for Vince Carter? Does Carter just announce that he's retired, he's done playing professional basketball?
Yeah, I'm officially finished playing basketball. Yeah.
I think. Well,
it's no I think. Okay, I'm officially done playing basketball professionally.
But since there's going to be this lower bubble, Vince Carter, please just come back and play how many ever games are going to be, just so we can get a real official send-off of Vince Carter. That'd be dope. Even though I feel like the way that the Knicks and the Hawks did it with Vince Carter, his last shot being the 3 that he made, unfortunately, it was a not really important 3 because the game was already over. It was still a really cool moment for VC, so that'd be pretty cool. There's so many questions, so much excitement around this. I know it's such a stupid thing to get excited about, but see, when you're a fan and you have love for a team the way that people like me and I do with this team, I'm just excited to see them hoop up, suit up and play, because when you look at it, you look at the it's so sad that I have to make this, but you look at the standings and you see where the Knicks stand, but then you look at the standings of the bottom 8 teams. We in the top 3, baby. Oh my gosh, I'm excited about this. I think it's gonna be dope. If it's not clear, you can see how excited I am about this. It's still not a done deal. It's still a lot that has to go through first. Obviously, there's a lot of money that went into the initial bubble in Orlando. It's probably going to be a similar situation in Chicago, and I feel like it made the most sense to do it in Chicago because you're familiar with everything and all the legislation and all the regulations that go in Chicago because you were just there in February for the All-Star break. So I'm sure you can just renew deals with, you know, security and stuff like that you had in for this All-Star break, and just run that back with the new bubble coming in. But I want to know all of your guys' thoughts on the idea of this second bubble coming up. I'm looking forward to it. Just to see Knicks basketball, just to see RJ Barrett going up against, you know, these other younger guys, and just knowing that it's, you know, pretty much a bubble of, you know, your own peers, you know, the bottom 8 teams. So really, if we just look terrible in this thing, then man, I've got there's no hope for my team. But like I said, man, let me know all of your thoughts in the comments below. Thoughts, questions, whatever it may be. Let me know all of them in the comments below. It's me, your boy CK2K, and I bet you thought I forgot. I didn't. This time for the comments of the video. I realized when I did this in my last video, I didn't add the Reading Rainbow, so I apologize about that. Also, shout out for all you guys that know that that's from Reading Rainbow. That means you really had a good childhood. Yeah, all right, let's get to the comments. Pissed New Yorker said, that Trier cut pissed me off. We stole a bucket after the draft, then got rid of him for nothing. WTF, hashtag let's get it. Yeah, I mean, outside of financial reasons, that I feel like that's the only reason why that decision was made. Trier is going to look for a big contract. He's going to get paid. The Knicks are still trying to have their books put together for the possibility of doing something in 2021. Am I a fan of it? But at the same time, you know, for them to do that and get, you know, Pinson, who's on a cheaper deal, keeps the books open, keeping, you know, the front office aware of their financials. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, I understand. Alonzo Trier, I still feel like never really got a fair shake, but we'll see what happens. I bet you he's gonna get signed by Brooklyn and he's gonna tear it up, and every time he plays against the Knicks, he's gonna go off against us. I'm calling it right now. So this one is talking about the fan rebuild that we've been doing in the live streams. He says, for big games postseason, you could simulate games while watching them. It would be cool to see the Garden with the finals poster when we'll get there. And in parentheses, just play the game, then put yourself off the team. Yeah, I knew what you meant. I like that idea. I feel like we're going to use this idea if we do end up getting into the finals. I think that's the best way to do it. I feel like that would drag the playoffs on too long if I'm doing that for every single game. I feel like I'm going to do them for like key games in the finals if we do get to finals, or maybe even the Eastern Conference Finals. Maybe we'll do the Eastern Conference Finals and the finals. We'll do this idea. We'll do like game one. We'll do like elimination games, like stuff like that where there's stakes to them. And we'll all sit there and we'll be on stream and we'll watch them as a crew and we'll see what happens. I think that'd be a lot of fun. These streams have been so fun. I feel like I talk about it every video, but you don't understand. I have fun with you guys, and I hope you guys are having a good time with those streams too. If you haven't made them to any of them, you got to come through every Tuesday and Thursday, even though this week's been wonky. Blame the little man. He's on his way, so I've been getting ready for that. But yes, every Tuesday and Thursday, and starting in a few weeks, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays, we're doing those streams, and it's been a lot of fun. Alex said, Chris, I died when you called me out for watching video while taking a doo-doo. I knew some of y'all nasties out there watching these videos while y'all taking doo-doos in the morning. Matter of fact, there's probably some more of y'all watching this video while you're taking the doo-doo. You probably just finished wiping up and flushed the toilet right as I'm at this part of the video. First of all, I appreciate your view. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Wash your hands first, but I appreciate you. But yeah, of course, I called you guys out if you're out there doodling while watching these videos. Anyways, be your boy CK. Let me know all your thoughts on the new bubble in Chicago in the comments below. If you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe, notification bell, all the good stuff. I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm out of here. Let's get it. Peace.
Feeling like I won the lotto. Always taking trips with a new chick, asking where the time goes.